Alright everybody, welcome back. This is another Stormgate cast and I'm Algorithmore, and this is going to be another cast here on our new patch, as you can tell by the nice luminite and therium effects, as well as the cool texture on the ground here. And this match is going to be featuring one of Korea's best amateurs, that's KR Bob. See how he's adjusted to the new patch. And his opponent today is going to be someone who I have not cast a game of before. This is Mimic. I don't know much about Mimic. For all I know, Mimic might be a 85-year-old grandma from Russia. But I don't know. Maybe she's from Indonesia. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up because I don't know anything about Mimic. Maybe Mimic is a Mimic. Maybe Mimic is AI. Who knows? But what we do know is Mimic is playing Infernal here and has opened Vault Conclave, whereas Mr. Bob, KR Bob, is on a single Rax and a Lancer out. And one thing I do know about KR Bob is Bob has practiced builds, very practiced builds that usually have found some kind of something in the Vanguard kit that can be exploited in some way, and then he tries to build that as efficiently as possible, and you know, whether that be a push or an all-in or something, tries to execute that as efficiently and as cleanly as possible. As we see there, his scout comes and kills the effigy. This is what I mean about clean play from Bob, is he's not just sort of willy-nilly targeting here. He's using that scout specifically to go for specific targets that he knows is going to result in damage. In that case, taking out the effigy meant there was no Shroud Skin regen on these units, which meant they're going to be taking a bonus damage from the slimes. And the scout still being annoying. I think part of the Vanguard with the scout is just to keep your eyes on the Infernal player. You want to know what they're up to, where their army is, which gives you freedom to know that you can safely creep until you have a force that can take out their force. And knowing Bob likes to do an early push. There we see those promotes already going down. That means he's already on tier 2. He's already got the BK Launch and Kinetic Redirect down. He's going for his push almost certainly here. A little Lancer push. Another Lancer out. This push used to come at 4 minutes. But with all the updates to the eco, and not this most recent patch, but the patch before, it looks like this shows up around 3.5 minutes now. And here they come onto the creeping force, and very wise by Mimic to immediately pull back, seeing the Lancers. Clearly Mimic knows what they're doing here, and now engages. And also we see Kinetic Redirect just finishing there, and the Lancers doing their best to charge in and get on top of the Gaunts. And they did clean up all the Gaunts, and look how speedy they are. That's just really kind of annoying. But here they run right in. They're going for imps. Nice splits on the imps here from Mimic, so that there's not going to be a lot of splash damage on them to get chased down. But the brutes are just still getting free shots on the Lancers. They turn around and get the Hex in, so that's a good kill. But there is a single mag out now, and due to the imp splitting this, oh wow, both players here with really clutch micro. Oh, a couple of those go down to the trample. But the Nightfall Infestation very adeptly dodged by KR Bob. And it was in such a well-placed spot. If it had landed, almost all these Lancers would be gone, thanks to the trample splash damage from the mag. But nonetheless, they dodged that and were able to get out. And look at them, they're also low. This is the strength of this push. This is what Bob likes to do, which is go in, get some damage done. If he's lucky, he gets lots of imp kills, and he, you know, maybe wins the game right there. But even when he's not lucky, like it is, where there was a really strong defense from Mimic, he still was able to preserve all. Well, he lost one, so he preserved 5 out of his 6 Lancers, and now they're just going to soak up those healing juices. They're going to be back to full, and they're promoted to level 2. So those Lancers have definitely paid for themselves, and I think that's one reason why Bob loves this opening against Infernal. It's just a way to either get ahead with some early damage, or you end up, it becomes almost at no cost if you can get those Lancers out of there. Mag doing the tanking here. That's how you like it. They got lots of hit points, and with the Shroud here, we're going to get Shroud Skin regen of 4% right now, I think, because we are on Greater Shrine, not Elder Shrine. Elder Shrine will give us 6%. Which kept him pretty full. Doing all that tanking, only losing about 1/4 of his normal health, not counting the Shroud Skin. And here come a Lancer 4 with Hedgehogs behind. So Bob has moved into Hedgehogs, and that's interesting choice. I think last patch it was way more you transition into Exos. Nice trample there. Also good control on the trample to pull it back and try and preserve that mag. It's only been that single mag, and we see how that mag is doing well. It's the regen of the white health that's keeping him alive on this Shroud. He keeps pulling back. When he gets focus fired back, focus fired, he gets pulled back. But it's just Hedgehogs now, and we get lots of splits on Brutes. Oh, huge surrounds. Ow, wow, I've never actually seen that kind of play before where the Fiends are actually able to get on top of Hedgehogs and get a surround on them and get some good damage. So that was actually really good. And we are not on tier 3 yet. We are going up to tier 3. We have a Hellforge. We have the first Brute upgrade, Soulforge Ascendance going down. That means we're still just on basic Brutes here. That upgrade takes way too long and it needs to be buffed. When they made changes to it, they changed it to 2 minutes because they were afraid of these Brute rushes that might be punishing, but those never materialized because the 2-minute upgrade time is just ridiculously too long. And when they sped up the eco, now it just sort of sticks out like a sore thumb as being too time costly. We see the Demon Hoof Tremors is queued up right behind it. Now, more vaults. Sometimes you'll see another Hellforge going down here. But we actually have a forward Ethereum base here. Are those farms? Or Shroudstone? Shroudstone, Shroudstone, Shroudstone. Okay. I guess you can kind of see now as the building is emerging out of the ground. I think it always did that, but now there's more cool stuff going on. In the video, there were like cool tentacles coming out. Where are my tentacles? You guys promised me tentacles. I don't see tentacles. Infernal needs more tentacles. Sky Mine. Sky Mine's being used as sensor drones. That's curious to me. That says something. It says that sensor drones are probably useless, or that Sky Mines are too useful. And it's probably the latter if you ask me. I think Sky Mines are a little problematic right now. Or maybe, instead of making that balanced wine, I will say that Vanguard Air seems to be the strongest right now of any 3 faction. Here we have a drop. Reinforce goes down on the sentry post. But nonetheless, Mimic chooses to drop down here, goes for some Bobs, but isn't able to get any. I guess Bobs are still kind of invincible. But here's a Bob Smorgasbord. Hornets get chased away. It's not clear. One Bob went down. Two Bobs went down. Who even knew that was possible? But yeah, it looks like the Gaunts get cleaned up. The Harbinger cleaned up too, so not really a lot of damage taken out there. But Fiend's trying to run by in here. There are Lancers. Lancers eat Fiends for breakfast. But the rest of the army's trying to push in. And I don't know about that engage. Yeah, that engage through the SimCity into a meat grinder. So instead he pulls the units out and Bob chooses to oblige him and says, fine, I will engage you out in the open. And Mimic is in full retreat. I feel like I'd be turning to fight here. Yeah, okay. And a nice trample with stuns. I think he was maybe just waiting for the Demon Hoof Tremors to be done. Look at how many stuns going down. Finally a jump jet to get those Vulcans out of there. But this is kind of... Ooh. He chooses to pull back. I was thinking that was kind of a nice concave with all the brutes surrounding on the units there, but... maybe fighting into Vulcans is not what you want to do. And nice, ooh, nice trample. Did not proc it on all of his units and more. Trapping those units against the Shadow Demons. Kind of getting a little softs around on the units there. One Magmadon is going to go down to the focus fire of the Vulcans, but the rest of the units are fighting Shadow Demons. That's probably not what he wanted. And actually... leaving just very weak Shadow Demons for Jay to, or sorry, Bob to clean up. That's not Jay, that's Bob. I mixed my Vanguard players up. It might be because I just finished casting a game with Jay. But it might also be because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Hornets eating some cabbage. And the maneuverability of the Hornets means that they can get over here and start pressuring while they know that Mimic's army is on the other side. I think Mimic has to just cancel. But, what? Okay, they're in retreat because Mimic is pushing in here. Attacking into the health camp, which is usually a bad idea. But now we have Miasma out as well. Now remember, it got nerfed. But these units were kind of trapped and forced to fight in it. And... actually, these Magmadons doing a lot of damage here. There are the Hornets in the back trying to pick off Hellborn, but the Hellborn are raining fireballs down on them as well. Hornets almost all cleaned up, and the Magmadons are incredibly resilient here. They, partly because they're standing in the health camp, but also on that Shroud Skin regen that I've been talking about all match here. I almost need to pop another effigy right over here. One Mag finally goes down another. They're focus firing on these Mags. Finally that effigy finishes in the health camp. But yeah, Bob's doing the best he can. We see an Atlas in the back there finally raining down some fire. But Mimic forced to pull back again and using this location here as his regroup and taking this moment to get a little additional income. Take out the creeps to get that quick little burst, and then of course the steady trickle of the Therium from the Therium Tower. And what else is going to go on here? He has got this base up finally. Is he going to go for the speed or just repositioning? Because now there's a small force here moving forward. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Oh, was it the health camp they were going for? Health camp's almost respawned. Luckily, there is a Wraithstone here and a Shroud Stone, so these units don't really want to attack into it. And that gave Mimic enough time to get his army back. A lot of Hellborn here. Remember, Hellborn got a pretty big nerf to their DPS. But they also got a buff to their attack speed, which is the worst thing about the Hellborn, so... nice shields bubble on the Atlas down below there. It's in such a great position that makes it really hard to run up on. And Bob doing his best to take this Therium camp while he's pressuring this location. And sure enough, gets it. Hellborn here, not being target fired. I would be target firing them on the... There we go. Target fire on the Atlas. But then they pull back. Come on. You need one more volley and that Atlas goes down. Now there's a repair turret down there. Fiend's trying to do something, but they're just going to get chewed. What? I haven't seen the big old dragon yet. Look at how big he is. I'm big and massive, and I like to do damage. And dragon over here doing the harass, but there is a battle going on over here. A nice lash to pull the Atlas up, but the rest of this ground force really getting cleaned up. Dragon over here. Oh no! Dragon goes down. So we had a dragon momentarily, and we got to see his cool new thighs. Another Atlas gets slashed. Magmadon's trying to preserve themselves as best they can. Same with the Weavers. Keep trying to pull back. Huge Nightfall. No, it's a Miasma. And big tramples here on all these units. Holy moly. With the Miasma and the trample. So many Lancers going down there. And there is that Atlas in the back, but it's now getting it, lashed in. Huge Hellborn shots. And this force is getting pushed back yet again. And maybe this base down here for Bob is going to be under threat now. We'll see what Mimic does. These Megs are being super tanky. Oh, yeah. Something about just watching Megs trample down units that I love to see. I am an Infernal player, so it's like when I see the opposite happening to Infernal, I cringe. But that is GG from Bob, and what a good game from Mimic.